Hi, One Best PR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 3 of the NFL preseason right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, who's in the midst of a profitable preseason so far in the NFL, right, Joe?
Yes, we're coming off a 6-2 week, including a perfect 3-0 sweep with Wise Guy plays, which are the single strongest play in the handicapping industry.
All right, Joe, you've got what? You've got 5 more plays up at your website right now already, premium picks for Week 3 in the preseason?
As we file this, and I got some check marks, and as soon as I get off the phone with you, back to work, or as soon as we get off of the recording, we're going to go back to working my tail off.
All right, sounds good, Joe. Well, Washington-Baltimore is the game we're going to take a look at now. Baltimore is a 4 or 4.5 point home favorite. The total is 43 or 43.5. And first, let's start with Washington, right? All kinds of disarray, the usual drama surrounding RG3. He got the concussion. I'm assuming that he's out for this game, but you know, Kirk Cousins and Colt McCoy, the backups have not been that bad. And Baltimore, of course, we know that they're coming off of a massive beatdown at the hands of Philly last week. But, you know, with Joe Flacco solidly, entrenched as the starter, a lot is settled for Baltimore. How much are they really going to care about that beatdown and look to be playing better here? I'm not exactly sure. I would lean towards the over, but both offensive lines are pretty weak and have a lot of injuries. So the offensive lines are looking like they're going to be a weakness in this game, and the defensive lines for both teams are looking like a strength. So that concerns me a little bit. I still, though, think that I'm leaning towards the over. Both of the Ravens' preseason games have gone way over, and Washington's games went both under, but only by a little bit. So I think I'm leaning over 43. What do you think about that, Joe?
My sources are a little bit different. I know Robert Griffin III, first they said he had a concussion, then they said, well, no, it was kind of a shoulder injury. My sources says that he actually will play. Now, if you're betting on the Redskins, there are a lot of people who might argue if he doesn't play, that's better for the Redskins, right, because he's been outplayed by McCoy and Cousins. But Jay Gruden did say that Robert Griffin III is going to play. He's going to be without wide receiver Deshaun Jackson, who led the league with an average of 20.9 yards per catch last season. Jackson's doubtful. There's still some possibility that he could play. The Ravens, look, they were crushed last week by Philadelphia. I wouldn't read much into that because the Eagles do run that very complex offense. And, you know, really in hindsight, of course, hindsight's always 20/20. But the way they run that offense, you know, teams aren't going to game plan for it in week 2. And, the Ravens were clearly outclassed then, but it would be completely different if it were a regular season game. However, you know, Washington's getting a little bit healthier. Jordan Reed, who caught 50 passes last year, he's expected to return. Jamison Crowder, he's actually expected to make his debut. Same for Jamison Crowder, and even the secondary might be as healthy as they've been. But for the purposes of this video, I don't really see any strong leaning either way. Like I said, I don't know if Baltimore is going to be that motivated by the fact they were destroyed last week, because I think it's fairly reasonable why they were. So that's, my take on it is that Peter Loshak will make the official play.
Oh, damn it. All right. Well, my lean, before I heard your news about Griffin, my lean was to the over 43. But if Griffin's playing, now maybe I don't like that so much, because I'm with you. I think that I would be liking Washington in general, at least offensively in this game, if it was just going to be Cousins and McCoy. You know, if I said I was going to go with the over, what would your response be to that?
Well, I do think that if Griffin plays, there will be that quote-unquote sense of urgency. I don't think there's going to be any starting quarterback in the NFL that will have more of a sense of urgency this week, you know, but the truth is RG3, ever since he went down in that playoff game a couple years ago against Seattle, I believe it was, he has been a completely different quarterback. So, you know, the sense of urgency is one thing, but his ability to perform is another thing. But I do think that if Griffin plays, they will likely try to establish him as a serious quarterback. And, you know, my golden rule is it's a lot more about what the play calling is going to be than offensive or defensive efficiency. So I do think Washington will throw the ball. If I had to lean either way, I would say yes, the over.
This is a really tough one, Joe Duffy. All right, I guess I will go with the over 43. Hopefully, Baltimore will try to ramp it up offensively, and Washington will be able to put up 20 themselves. This is a tough one, though. Officially, it's going to be a pass for Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, so it falls on me to make a pick. I'll go with the over 43. I feel nervous about that one, though. Thanks so much, Joe Duffy.